Hello everyone and welcome into a video discussing a very controversial topic in the Destiny 2 community, that being the portal. I'm going to start off and I'm going to talk about some of the positives that I think the portal does have and some of the benefits that I think it does bring to the game, because there are some. And again, this is just meant to be a bit of feedback and some ideas that maybe that Bungie could include in future portal updates. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about the portal is I logged on for the new Renegades expansion, which came out just yesterday. And the first thing I saw on the expansion was I checked the portal and I saw they had the Haunted Leviathan activity. I can't quite remember what the name of the Haunted Leviathan activity is at the minute, but you know, the one where you're hunting down nightmares. I think it might be nightmare containment on the Haunted Leviathan. And I was like, oh my god, I remember really enjoying this when it first came out. I kind of want to play that. And because of content vaulting, I couldn't play it anymore. And this has brought it back. And I was like, wow, I really, really want to play this. So I hopped in, and you know what? I loved it. I thought it was fun. It was, as I remembered, it was a fun activity, and it's replayable, and it's different from what we have in the game at the minute. And I really enjoyed my time there. And then, you know, we got to the end, and I was like, oh, I wonder what I'll get. And I got Portal loot. Disappointing. And I will come back to this. But one of the overarching positives of the portal is it allows for the reintegration of content that has been taken out of the game and the players can no longer play, and it lets you play some of that old, fun, enjoyable content that you're no longer able to play. And my hope is that they can continue down this path and basically re-add everything into the game and not rotate it out on seasonal basis. I mean, use the portal as the hub for old content in the game that you can no longer play. As a matter of fact, they should have it so that you can choose what to install on the portal, because any other game can do it. Call of Duty does it. I don't have Warzone installed at the minute. I just play zombies, so I just have the zombies installed. Like, so there's no reason that Destiny 2 can't do it. But anyway, yeah, I think the portal overall is a good concept if it's just used to let you play old activities. Okay, now what I did notice was, and this is a new problem that I seem to have noticed, unless I just got really unlucky with all my bonus drops or anything like that, I didn't get a single mint retrograde or any of the older loot from Edge of Fate in the portal anymore. And that makes me wonder, did they phase out that armor sets, the 2 armor sets, the weapons, unless you play specific activities? You know, where has this content gone, you know? Because originally you used to be able to focus at Zavala or what have you for old content. Now, I'm not so sure where that's gone. Maybe I just got unlucky, maybe it is still in the portal, I'm not sure. It's only day 2 of the new expansion. This could change, but this leads me into a loot situation, right? Where looking at Haunted Altars, or not Haunted Altars, Nightmare Containment, right? And the old Edge of Fate loot. The portal should act as a portal to play no longer accessible content and obtain old loot. And this is the crucial thing here. Old seasonal activities, when they're added back in, like Haunted Leviathan, should provide you with the loot that came in that season, armor, weapons, all with the new tiered system. So when I complete the Leviathan, I should get the Ostringer tier 5 or the Without Remorse shotgun tier 5. Like, I should be getting seasonal weapons and seasonal armor from that season to drop from them activities. When them activities are brought back into the game, they should have their old weapons and their old armor brought back in the new tiered system. Season of the Haunted weapon should drop Season of the Haunted activities, you know, sorry, I mixed that up. Season of the Haunted activities should drop Season of the Haunted weapons. Season of the Lost weapon should drop from that content. I think we have Astral Alignment back, and I'm pretty sure that was Season of the Lost. That could have the Season of the Lost weapons. We have Expeditions and Catch Crash back from Season of the Plunder. That's the 2 activities there. You could actually spread out and make a complete seasonal spread from the activities we have from that season. We could have all of them weapons and all of them armors spread amongst each thing, each activity in that season. So you could look at, say you wanted to do Catch Crash, and that has 4 weapons, so you could farm the 4 weapon potential drops from that activity. Or each expedition has 2 weapons tied to it, so it's a 50-50 chance. It gives you a bit of a grind, and it brings these weapons and aspirational content back to the game. You know what you're going into when you look at the portal. Strikes and the Strike playlist should return. What I noticed again is that the new expansion came out and all of its loot was put into the portal, right? So what I'm thinking is, if the new loot from Renegade, say, except like not the Renegade tier loot, but the new like overall world loot, like the new portal loot for Renegades, released with the Renegades expansion, that in my vision should be put into the Strike playlist. That's a new armor set and a new set of weapons, right? That gets put into the Strike playlist, and then the Edge of Fate armor and weapons gets put back into the portal as like, okay, you missed it in Edge of Fate, here you go, you can now get this weapons and armor through the portal system. So that's in the solo ops that was introduced during that season, in the strikes that were added in that season, in the activities that were added in that season. You know, anything that was added into that season could have that loot dispersed in the portal, because I think that's what makes sense. And you could even break down the portal into different years and different, you know, different loot types, different seasonal types, and I think it would just make it a bit clearer and a more improved system for retrieving old loot. So an example is the Edge of Fate gear is in Strikes until Renegades. When Renegades comes out, you put the Edge of Fate gear into the Reclaim activity in the loot pool. So that's the activity that came out in the portal back when Edge of Fate came out. Put it in the solo ops that also came out during the Edge of Fate expansion time frame, and that is where you would get that expansion's loot pool going forward, because it's no longer in the live game. It's now in the portal, which is again our area that we go to get all of the past loot and gear and old activities and stuff like that. This refreshes the loot pool of the core Strike playlist, your evergreen content, updates the portal, and keeps gear fresh and exciting. I don't want to be doing the Haunted Leviathan activity and getting fucking, like, Mint Retrograde. I know Mint Retrograde is a fantastic weapon, but I don't want to be getting it when I play Haunted Leviathan. It just doesn't suit that area. Old Season Pass cosmetics should also come back into the matchmaking. So what I'm saying here is that the old Season Pass objectives, like the skeleton armor for Season of the Haunted, for example, if you put that into the Nightmare Containment as a proper armor set, people would grind just to get that. And you're not selling these sets anymore. Like, you're not, well, I know they've found a way to monetize them now, but before they weren't selling these sets. Just add them into the old activity. What's the harm? It's more content for people to play, and we have a serious player retention problem at the minute. So more content that has people playing, the better, I would say. So I would say put them Season Pass cosmetics, the exotic ornament, the exotic weapon from that season, the armor ornaments, and the shaders and stuff like that. Put them into them activities. Imagine Haunted Leviathan has a full suite of weapons, a new armor set, and cosmetics to chase. People would play for it. Now, I have all this stuff already, but I would still play it just to get some of the weapons, get updated rolls, get tier 5s. But new players, they could go back and they could experience basically the entire season's worth of content in one activity. Imagine how much replayability the game would have if they took that idea and spread it across everything. Like, we have all the Season of the Plunder gear spread out among Catch Crash and the expeditions, all the Season of the Lost gear spread out among Astral Alignment and whatever other activities there were that season. Now, I want to talk quickly about the endgame. I think dungeons and raids should also be added to the portal with updated loot. This, of course, won't have matchmaking in it, because obviously we've seen how the matchmaking goes in some of these 6-player activities, you know, with the revive tokens and stuff. They're just not built for matchmaking. They're built for communication and teamwork. But I think they should put them into the portal with updated tier 5 gear. And I would also go a step further and say we're getting nearly like 6-7 Eververse sets, like an expansion now, and not even an expansion, a seasonal update now. It's ridiculous. What we should be getting is, we should be getting a new raid set when the raid gets updated. I'm talking, like, for example, the Vault of Glass should have a Vex themed armor set. Sunder Doctrine should have a Hive or a Pyramid themed armor set, you know, because all the weapons always look fantastic. But I find a lot of the armor sets are just not good, and I think that is really just so they can sell armor in the Eververse store. And to be honest, I don't know anyone who is spending money on the Eververse store with the game looking in the state that it's in at the minute. So yeah, that's what I would do. Is I would update the weapon pools to bring everything up to tier 5 with their own ornament. Of course, I would like a unique ornament for the weapons in the dungeons and raids. I would also like a unique armor ornament set as well. I think that would really help the replayability of the game. As I kind of said throughout this video, I'm not saying we need to scrap the portal, but change it into what it should have always been. A hub for players to play old content and get all rewards brought up to the new standard set in Edge of Fate. So we could get our old rewards through their seasonal activities, we could get old exotics through their old exotic missions, we could get old armor through, you know, again, their seasonal activities. And all of that can be done in the portal while keeping the live game, what is currently the most active content in the game, keeping that refreshed every expansion with new strikes, new PvP maps, and, well, Gambit is kind of dead at the minute, but hopefully they revitalize it. I haven't really actually played the new activity yet, but that has some invasion elements in it, and that could be really cool. This wasn't really scripted, I was just kind of reading off the top of my head, so if the thoughts are a bit all over the place at some stages, that's probably why. If you did agree or disagree with any of my thoughts, leave it in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video, which is whatever, I don't know, this isn't even my main channel, I just kind of upload here when I have ideas.